I've seen a ton of YouTube videos where people teach you how to roll your R in Russian. And I've seen a lot of comments from people struggling to roll their R. Some people say that they're literally crying, that they're so upset that they just cannot seem to make their tongue roll. And I'm here to tell you that you don't have to learn to roll your R. That's not essential. That's not important if you want to speak fluent Russian. If you want to have a good Russian accent, this is not one of the prerequisites. You don't have to learn how to roll your R. Russian is not Spanish. We don't have words like pero versus perro. We don't have words like that. As a Russian speaker, as a Russian teacher, I barely ever roll my R. I mean, the only two cases that I can think of off the top of my head is, for example, a word irraциональный. Irraциональный is one of the very, very few words. It's one of the borrowed words in Russian. But then even some people would probably say just irraциональный, irraциональный. And that also would not be mistaken. When instead of just the roll, they just do a small tap. Or another situation is when I'm, for example, explaining phonetics to my students or on this channel, and I'm slowing words down. So instead of saying работа, I say работа. Do you want to say the word irraциональный very often? Are you planning to do that? Are you planning to use irraциональный when we have a lot of other words like нелогичный, нерациональный, глупый? When you have different several synonyms that could mean the same thing, when you don't have to say irraциональный. Or, for example, are you explaining a lot of Russian phonetics at this slow speed? Do you speak at this работа a lot? Do you plan to speak at this speech, at this tempo? If you do, maybe that will be of some sort of help. But other than that, I think that you'll be just fine if you learn how to tap your R. And for American speakers, it'll be especially easy because in American phonetics, at least for most accents, as I can assume, and especially from the accents that I've been exposed to and that I was taught, you already have that sound. You already have this tap R. And I heard it called a flap T. This is the sound that American English speakers make when they pronounce words like better, botter, gotter, botter, shut up.
Butter. Feel better. Better.
Got her eye to eye. Got her.
And I bought her a smoothie. Bought her a...
Shut up, brain. Shut up.
To shut up. Shut up.
Anything at all. At all.
Of course I have a Russian accent, but kind of if you hear some native speakers, it's still going to be sound something alike. Of course my vowels may be slightly off, but the overall, you get the overall gist. You get this like, this little, butter, butter. So if you've been hearing a lot of American speech, or if you yourself speak one of the American accents where this exists, then that means you already know how to make that sound. You just have to sort of rewire the sound in your brain and completely forget let go of this sound that you're trying to make when you're pronouncing it. I remember I've heard, like, I have a student who like was just trying to roll this. He was just trying to roll this and he tried to roll that which sounds like a torture, to be honest. If you speak American English, you already know how to make that sound. You just have to sort of rewire your brain. You have to rewire your kind of how you perceive the Russian R, because Russian has nothing to do with American has nothing to do with this sound. So if you're already familiar with it, if you're already pronouncing this sound, then the next step for you would be to kind of extract this sound and apply it to the Russian phonetic system. So yeah, your step will be to insert this sound, apply it to Russian phonetics, apply it, surround it with Russian vowels, make this строитель, здравствуйте, be able to pronounce those clusters, be able to make it soft. It's going to be so much easier for you if you either speak with an American accent or you've heard it somewhere. It's going to be easy. If you're not that familiar, if you're not sure how to achieve this, I'm going to explain it. As in every pronunciation video, I'm going to recommend you to do a small vocal warm-up, a small articulation warm-up. It doesn't matter what you do, to be honest. You can do like chewing motions. You can massage the muscles of your face. You can use your tongue as a brush and scrape the insides of your mouth. You can pretend that you're like a painter and you're painting the insides of your mouth with one color. So you can do whatever. The job is to loosen up your muscles, to relax your muscles a little bit, to make it easier for you to teach your muscles to make new sounds, to make new shapes. So do a small vocal exercise. It doesn't matter what exactly you do. You can just find it on YouTube. Articulation warm-up will help you to relax your muscles a little bit, so that like you have more freedom of movement there. So it will be easier for you to experiment and try new sounds, new movements. And also it will help to bring awareness to your mouth, to your muscles of your mouth, because if you've never studied language before, maybe the awareness is just not there yet because you just haven't been actively paying attention to what's going on inside of your mouth. So that's why I recommend doing a articulation warm-up before you do any pronunciation work. It's not going to take much time, but it's just going to make your work so much easier. If you don't want to make your work easier, then just skip ahead and let's just get down to the thing. But I recommend doing a warm-up. As a starting point, I recommend that we do a small exercise. So stretch your tongue out and cover your bottom lips with your bottom lip with your tongue. Then roll it back and touch and put the tip kind of right behind your lower teeth. So do it fast or do it slow. Like let's say do it really slow. And now let's do it faster. You're almost like scraping, like almost like it's really. You can try like do it really fast. It's like it's important for the sound to train like your agility of your of your tongue, because this sound it's really quick. Your tongue has to be really agile, really like to be able to just do that. So, and then we do that the same thing with our upper lip. So we cover our upper lip with our tongue, and then we roll it back and let it touch our upper teeth. So our lip, our tip of our tongue touches our upper lips. It would be much better to do it in front of a mirror, of course. All right, again, different speeds. Now after you've done that, I recommend to put your tongue to your bottom teeth. So again, find this position where your tongue touches your bottom teeth. This is, you could say, like as a this is where this sound starts. So you have to find this position where this other sound starts. You have to put the tip of your tongue to your bottom teeth, as we just did. That's where this other sound starts. So put your tongue there, and then rotate it, like from bottom teeth to upper teeth. So you see, like you have to try to. I know it may be really uncomfortable and really weird. Like that's why I recommend that you keep some water nearby. Bottom teeth, up teeth. Trying to find a position where your jaw doesn't move at all. So when your jaw doesn't have to support this movement, and that might be actually really tricky. And you see this fast, this quick like movement of your tongue, this little like is exactly how you achieve that. It's a really like if you do it, you see it is so quick, because if I slow it down, it's not there. You see, if there's not enough force, it's not quick enough. It's just sound. This sound just does not appear. It just sounds like some weird like either I have to roll it, or it just doesn't happen if my tongue is too slow. You see, it doesn't really happen. So again, try to speed it up a little bit and just do that. I just recommend doing this exercises. Like if this sounds completely foreign, completely weird, just try doing that. When you do this exercise, when you roll your lips kind of back, it is pretty much what your tongue does when you pronounce the it kind of goes like it like it tickles like tickles your alveolar ridge a little bit, and then rolls back quickly, like it's like, because if you pronounce the word de, so if your tongue for de, your tongue like de, for it's like so it's put your tip of your tongue to your bottom teeth, so like this is where we're gonna start this sound. And then we move our jaw slightly forward, just ever so slightly. You don't have to go all the way like this, but just a bit, ever so slightly. Your tongue is kind of at your bottom teeth. Your jaw slightly forward. The tip of your tongue is at your bottom teeth. Then we say de. be really mindful of how you make that sound. Be careful, like where does your tongue touch your mouth? Where does it happen? The, 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 the. You see, it's really close. It's right behind your upper teeth. To find the r position, we have to go slightly back. We have to like so something like so something like where it's closer to right? Something like a bit closer. If you go too back, it's gonna be like we don't have to go that far. You have to go slightly forward. You have to find what's called alveolar ridge. I'll put a picture somewhere here so that you can. It's easier for you to imagine. So you have to find it like and now again find that position. Find your alveoles. Find this little two smooth like small hills inside of your at your palate, and then again your tongue is at your bottom teeth. Your tip touches your bottom teeth. Your jaw is slightly forward, and then you quickly like flick your tongue like this, and it goes like slightly back and down. So the surface that touches the roof of your mouth is tiny. It is barely there. So if I say de, a lot of my tongue has to touch. There's a lot of tension. For there's barely any tension. Just like if you imagine if I say de. For example, this is my tongue, let's say. So this is how much of it like should touch if I say the. But if I want to say re, this is what like my tongue has to like be like really tiny and really narrow. Like I do the same thing but with a smile. So we smile. Right, your jaw is slightly forward. A lot of things to keep in mind, right? So your bottom, your tongue touches your bottom teeth. Your jaw is slightly forward, you smile, and then you say, you're like, basically you're saying high five, like, it's such a slight movement. If you cannot do that, just give yourself some time. Practice this 2 exercise that I give you at the beginning, where you, like, roll your tongue from your from your lip to your teeth. Just do them. Do this when you like rotate your tongue like this. Just do that. Make your tongue more agile. Just again, do your articulation warm up. Your tongue has to relax. The tip of your tongue has to be really, really like loose and relaxed, so that you're able just like like the thing is that your middle and the back and the middle of your tongue are quite tense. They're like quite strong, and then you have to like so but your kind of the tip of your tongue has to be really relaxed. So maybe like even imagine like how do you make your tongue narrower? Like how do you like you see, this is what my tongue would look like if I want to say the. If I want to say the. Let's say it like with our teeth. Let's imagine that we have to put it to our teeth. So the and you see how quick this movement is, how light it is, how little of the surface of my tongue touches the kind of the upper thing. Versus the. You see, just with the. Basically, my whole tongue is mushed up there to block the sound, how much sound it goes through. The. Versus. It is so quick. It's such a fascinating sound. But again, if you speak American, it shouldn't be much of a trouble. You're just probably just watching it and like, oh, all right. One thing that is absolutely essential is you just completely leave the notion of how you pronounce your or if you're French, like something like you have to leave those notions completely out the door. They're not going to help you. They're not going to be your friends in this. This is a kingdom of Russian, right? These little and they're not going to be your friends. They're going to like lead you astray. They're going to lead you in really like weird situations where you'll have to like say like like this weird thing. So you don't have to do that. You just have to think about D, find Russian placement, train your tongue to make it more agile, and then do this like again. Your tongue slightly back from the dip position. Again. Also, what I recommend is picking up the speed. So if you're still struggling, you feel like you're not sure how to make this movement light and agile, practice saying D really, really fast. So and then I just move my tongue back. Basically, you have that. Like if you even speed it up more, you just have the rolling R. So, so it maybe even help you to learn how to roll your R if you pronounce the D really, really fast. So how little of your tongue can touch, the roof of your mouth. How agile and quick and light this movement can you make? Basically, it's like we're like teaching ballet, but for our tongue. You see, that's really tricky. Russian people love ballet. I personally love ballet very much. I think it's a really beautiful art form. And so basically, we're doing ballet with our tongue, like ballerinas have to move their feet, for example. It's a little light movement. You see, it's not do. It's like it's a real light movement. Like I imagine like your tongue is doing ballet. Your tongue is like a light ballerina that just like bum bum like. This is the movement that we're trying to achieve. And now let's get to the more challenging section, which is the soft re. To achieve that sound, I recommend practicing making like a U shape with your tongue. So put your tongue forward. And try to stretch it like this. I know it sounds weird, but try to lift it up, but trying to find this like little cup. Practice doing that cup, that small cup. Like, how can you cup your tongue to make it like this, like something like of U shape? That movement may be extremely weird, uncomfortable, and alien. I just recommend putting it up there and just play with it. Do all sorts of shapes, like help with your jaw, because your jaw is kind of linked, and if it's too tense, it may be too difficult. Because when you say basically that's what happens. Your tongue has to cup like this, like it is cupped and then kind of mushed against the top roof of your mouth, and that's why there's not like much air going through. And also you have to also say this little tip. It has to be narrow. So you see, I can even make that against my lip, and this is what the shape would look like. So if this is this is me trying to do against my lip, it's basically would be the same, but against the roof of your mouth, against your alveolar ridge. But if I want to make the soft, you see how much of my tongue moves. So I'm engaging my tongue more, engaging the sides of my tongue, and it's just all kind of pressed against there. But still, the tip is light. So what can help you is try to start with D. First, learn how to make the D sound, which again, you have to learn how to cup your tongue. You have to learn to cup your tongue, and so that you're able to push kind of the side of your tongue against the upper part of your mouth. So D. More of your tongue is mushed, like the middle part is mushed. All of your tongue is mushed. So start with D. Master the D sound first. Again, say the D, and then so you have a D, right? You have the tongue go D, and then you have to just try to stretch your tongue in all sorts of positions to like try to play like with the middle of your tongue. So if you put it up, if you put it down, if you stretch it, if you put it back, how does the sound change? Just experiment with it. Find the D, and then to find the D, experiment just with your tongue. So move it up, like if your tongue is like this, like how can you change it? You'll find it somewhere. And once you find the D, again, my tongue is cupped, it's kind of mushed, the middle is kind of mushed against the roof of my mouth. D. Again, smiling helps a lot. Do smile. D. Try without smiling then. D. You see, you can still do it without smiling, but if that to help like stretch your tongue like to the sides, and mush it against the roof of your mouth. That smiling helps here. Just intuitively, your tongue kind of would want to do that. So this E also does that. So say D, and then let's say D, re. Your tongue is somewhere closer to your teeth, and then it goes slightly back. Di di ri, di di ri, di di ri. So what I advise you is do articulation warm up, then do this exercise I recommended you, like the, and then when you move your tongue up and down, practice like curling your tongue so that it becomes something like a U and becomes something like a cup, like something like this. And then after you've done that, go from d to slightly back and find the d, r, r, d, d, r, 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 and then r, 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 r. Now let's practice saying some syllables that have hard versus soft r. The difference will be only basically the difference in whether they are soft or hard. So let's say ra, ria, ra, ria, ra, ria, re, ria, re, ria, re, ria, ro, rio, ro, rio, ro, rio, ri, 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 ri. Remember that our jaw is slightly forward. We start when our tongue touches our lower bottom teeth. Ri, 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 ru, ryu, ru, ryu, ru, ryu. Now, after you've done that, let's practice saying some words that sound kind of similar, but one has a hard consonant, hard r, and one has a soft r. Rat, riat. Rat, riat. Rep, like rap muzika. Rep i repa. 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 Rov, rov, rjov. Rjov. Rov, rjov. Ris, ris. This will be particularly tricky because the kind of the softness to transform. So first r is hard and it's r, and then s is soft, so it's ris. Versus r, it's soft, and s is hard, so it's ris. This one I think is absolutely really fun word pair. Ris, 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 ris. Oh, you're gonna have some fun with this one. It has two soft consonants, so it's gonna be exciting. Ris, ris. Ris, ris. Ris, ris. Kruk, kruk. Even though one is spelled with a g, because it's at the end of the word, it just pronounces k. Kruk, kruk, krug, kruk, krug, kruk, 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 kruk. So, for example, think about the phrase "shut up." Think about how American people pronounce the word "shut up," and now compare this "shut up" to a Russian last name, Sharapova, a famous female tennis player, Sharapova. Shut up, Sharapova. Oh my God! You see how similar? So you see, there's basically zero difference. My vowels are slightly different, a little bit, but other than that, shut up, Sharapova. Just rewire your brain. Connect this flap that you've heard. If you've watched any sort of American media, American person talk, you've definitely heard this sound before. Watch videos about a flap T, how to make a flap T. If maybe you want some more practice, some more explanations, I absolutely recommend gathering more explanations. Like, it's not possible to learn how to pronounce a sound just from after watching one explanation. I think I'm hardly doubtful. And when people do feel like, oh, I finally can pronounce thanks to this video, no, this video was just an aha moment of this kind of knowledge that you've been accumulating, after days and like hours of your input, after explanations of teaching, whatever, or learning. So yeah, either like conscious or unconscious learning. So you see how similar these words sound. Like the there is the same. Sharapova, shut up, Sharapova. The sh is slightly different. Sharapova. It's slightly more sh. It's darker, like Sharapova. Shut up, sh. But then the r is basically the same. Again, the consonants or the vowels are slightly different, of course. The placement is different, but you see, shut up, shut up. Use this as like an example. How do you say shut up? And then take that sound, extract that sound, and apply it to other kind kind of Russian vowels, and then do and then do this little exercise to help you find the which is must be quite tough, but I'm sure you can handle it. Give yourself some time. Again, you don't have to learn how to roll it right now. It's not essential. Find the tap R, make it comfortable, make it easy for yourself to pronounce it, and then I'm sure you can pick it up, the rolling R, sooner or later. Just when you identify this position, then you could just speed it up like we did, right with how we speed it up. Just you can speed it up and find this vibration, and when your tongue becomes stronger, the tip of your tongue becomes more agile and relaxed. It's just going to be a piece of cake. But you have to do the articulation work. You have to do some preparations. You have to do some exercise, because it's not possible to just pronounce something that you've never pronounced in your life before without some work. Again, for American speakers, right, that probably should be a whole other story. But for people who don't speak with American accent, that may be somewhat of a challenge. But again, I think you absolutely can do this. I've heard people with absolutely wonderful R's. The Spanish has R's, so a lot of people learn Spanish as well as speak Spanish. Yeah, Russian kids. Remember that Russian kids struggle with the R sound. Like, for example, adult people, we call it kartavist. When people pronounce the R, like работа, they pronounce it as работа. So it's something closer to like a French R, like this more like R, when the vibration happens like at the back of your mouth. Работа. Or kids sometimes, because again R is really challenging and their muscles haven't developed to pronounce it yet. For kids who like people who just came on Earth, who just entered the Russian realm, they also struggle, and they just substitute with привет. So you can expect a child saying привет, 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 работа. They substitute this with this kind of easier sound, работа, because you don't have a strong and kind of this combination of strong, agile, and relaxed at the same time, which is kind of insane. We really are doing ballet here, like pronunciation ballet. My name is Pasha Kovalenko. I teach Russian for people who speak English. I combine student books with real-life text, be it cartoons, movies, memes, books, poetry, songs, because I think that you need to experience emotions when you're learning language. You need to be able to emotionally connect to words, to phrases, to idioms, and I also do pay a lot of attention to phonetics. So with my students, I think it's really important to develop your accent really early on, because I believe that kind of the better your pronunciation, the easier it is for you to practice this language. It will be easier for you to hear, identify phrases if your phonetics is better, and it just make your speech better. It make the native speakers. It makes life easier by making it easier for them to understand you. So, right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. See you in future videos, and goodbye.